Hello everyone, welcome to iLearning Digital class. My name is Steven. I want to use this medium to appreciate those that already subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am so grateful. Thank you so much. I am so grateful. And if you are watching this video now and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please kindly use this opportunity to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget as well to hit on the notification button so that anytime I upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So guys, some time ago we started a project on this tutorial. On this channel rather. We started a tutorial on this channel. So I call it Hospital Management System with we are using Nodejs, JavaScript template engine, that is Ejs. We're also using Expressjs and MySQL as our database. So guys, I want to appreciate you that have been following me since the day one of this video. Now this is part 10 of this video. Wow, I want to congratulate you for going so far with me. I'm so happy. Thank you so much for taking your time. I've been seeing several comments. Thank you so much. And I also appreciate once again those that have subscribed to my channel. Guys, I have as you can see, my subscribers is over 200 subscribers now. I'm so grateful, guys. I'm so happy. So definitely, I'm encouraging that yes, I'm passing information to my viewers, and I'm so glad that you are learning from this channel as well. So guys, this is a part 10 of this video. So if you have not yet seen my previous video, please kindly go and watch the previous video of this particular tutorial. So this is the part for you to be able to follow along. You must go and watch the previous ones. And what I'm going to do is that at the last part of this video, I'm going to drop the source code. I've been getting a lot of messages, I've been getting a lot of comments. When am I going to release the source code for this project? At the end of the video, I am going to release the source code. So please kindly bear with me for that. So guys, we are going to get started now. So the last video I released was I showed us how we are trying to create a function, an API, on how you can add a new employee as an admin. If for example an employee wants to apply for leave, and the reason why they wanted to apply for leave. So we try to create a function for that. So but today what we want to do now is that we want to be able to save the data of the employees into our database. So that is what we want to do today. So let's go inside our code now. I'm using Sublime, as you know, as my text editor. So what we did last week was that what we did in my last video was that we tried to create an employee. So this is it. Those are the functions for the employee. Now these are the APIs. We are able to add employees data. We can edit their data. We can, as you can see now, we can edit the leave as well. So we can even as well search. Let me show you. Okay, this is it. Yeah, come on. Okay, we can even as well search for any employee data that you want. This is the function here. So what we want to do today is that we need to create, we need to handle all of these details inside our controller. So it is controller that will help us to save and interact with our database, which as you know, we are using MySQL as our database. So guys, that is what we want to do today now. So all these search employee, they are all functions we have to create inside our controller. All this get employee by ID, all this edit employee. So we have to create all these functions inside our controller. So without any further ado, so let's go now inside our controller and create all these functions. So let's just come down here. Let's come down here, and so we have to. The first thing we have to do now, I'm gonna say module now. So we have to export module exports. All right. Dots. Okay. We have to say dots get. The first thing we want to do is get leave by ID. Okay, that's the first thing we want to do. Get leave by ID. Okay. I think I have to correct this. Exports module.export get leave by ID. This goes to function now. You have to write function. So we pass ID here as a parameter, and we call back here as well. So they have this curl bracket. Then we're gonna say variable query. All right, variable query is equals to we have to say select now. Okay, we want to select. Then we have this symbol here from leaves. Okay, because leaves is a table in our database where ID is equals to, okay, so we're gonna say where ID is equals to let's add this plus sign here and pass ID here. All right, so that's, then we have to come down here. Come on, what is happening? Then we have ID here. Okay, so we're gonna say come now dot query, come dot query. Then we have query here, query here. Then we have our callback here as well. So that's all we need to do for that. Now, if you want to get leave by ID, that is, you want to get the the employee that have applied for leave. So that's what we're trying to do here now. So we want to get each of those employees. Let's say, for example, John Doe is one of the employees we've registered, and we want to get John Doe's when John Doe applied for leave. So this is what we just have. That is what I'm trying to do here. So I'm trying to get each of those details of those employees by ID. So that's what I'm trying to do inside our database. So leaves here is a table inside our database. So we are trying to write a query to get each of the details of those employees in our database. All right, I think that is clear enough. So then the next thing we want to do is that we want to be able to delete leave. So then I say module now dot exports. All right, so we have to do this. Dot delete leave is equals to, we're gonna say function. All right, we're gonna say function, then we'll have ID, then we'll have callback here as well. Okay, so we're gonna say that's variable now. Let's say variable query. Okay, it's equals to, then we have delete, because we want to delete from our database. Delete from leaves. As I've said, leaves is a table in our database where ID, okay, where ID is equals to, then we have to pass the ID here. All right, so just come down here. Okay, so we just come down here, then we have to say come now, come dot query. Okay, come dot query, then we have query here, and we have callback here as well. All right, then we have callback here as well. So then the next thing we have to do is that, let me just come down here. So let me put this next function here. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is we want to be able to add leaf into our database. Let's just come and let's say module now dot exports. All right, dot exports, exports dot add. Okay, this is it. Just add leaf. It's equals to function. Okay, it's equals to function. Then we have to pass everything we want to add inside our leaf table now. So we have to pass these things here as a parameter. Number one is the name, then we have the ID, then we have the type of leaf. All right, then we have from, that is the dates. So from, then we have to we have reason why the employee wants to apply for the leave. Then we have callback here. All right, so I think you know where all these are coming from. All this name ID. Let me show you. Let's go inside our controller here. So let me show you where those things are coming from. Add leaf should be somewhere down here. Add leaf. Let me see. Okay. I think no, that's edits. So I'm trying to see. Okay, this I think you know this is not coming from here. I'm trying to check where this is coming from so that you'll be able to. Okay, this is it. This is where it's coming from. As you can see now, we are trying to get the name, the email, the contact. Is this no? This is not that is not for leaf. We need to see where that is coming from so that we'll be able to understand. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is where it's coming from. So we have the ID, this is the name, this is the body. I mean the leaf type now. This is from, that is when the employee wants to apply for the leave to when the leave is going to end and the reason for the leave. So that is what we are trying to do there. That's what I'm trying to do there. So I'm trying to inside my what is it here? So inside my DB controller here, I'm trying to add this leave into to our database. So that is where all this name, ID, type, from to they're all coming from. All right, so okay, what is the next thing we have to do now is that we have to say that variable now. There's a variable query. Okay, so variable query is equals to we want to insert into our database. We're going to say insert into leaves now. We're going to say insert into leaves. All right, we're going to say insert into leaves. Then we have these insert into leaves. So what we want to insert into the leaves now? We want to insert employee now. We want to insert employee. Okay. We want to insert employee. Then what is the next thing again? We want to insert the employee ID. Okay, we have employee ID. Then we have the leaf type. Okay. Then we have the leaf type. Okay, the leaf underscore type. Okay, so which other thing again? Then we need the date from, right? So let's do that. Date. Then we have underscore from. Okay. So then let's put a comma here. So the next thing again we have to do again is that date to. So we have underscore to. All right. So then reason now why is it the employee wants to apply for this leave? So we have to pass this here as well. So now what is the values now? The values that we want to add, let's say values. Okay. Okay, should be outside. Okay, so let's say values now. So I think everything is fine. So values. So we have to come down here and we have to pass this. What is the plus? The name. That is one of the values we want to add inside our database. So I'll just have to copy this just to save time. Let me copy this guy here. All right. So I just come here and paste this. So we have this to be ID. All right. So the next thing again is the type. So let me paste. So let's change this to type of leaf. Maybe we have different type of leaf. So then let's come down here and paste this. Let's change this to from. That is the dates. And we need to put 2 there as well. Okay, so let's change this to 2. All right, so then the next thing we have to do is the reason now. Okay, so let's change this to reason. Those are the values we need to add in our database. Okay, so those are the values we need to add in our database. Then you just have to say, okay, let's console. Okay, once we are able to add it to our database, let's console.log query now. Okay, we need to console.log this query now. That is, we want to get a response once we insert. If everything is working fine, we are not getting error. We want to be able to get those details we are trying to add inside our database. So that's what I'm trying to do there. So I'm gonna say now come now dot query. Okay, dot query. Then we have query. Then we have callback. All right. Then we have callback. So the next thing we want to do is that we want to able to get all leaf now. You know what we did the other time, we are trying to get each of the for a specific employee, but this time I want to get all the leaf of all the employees. So I would love to just let me just see what I can copy for the sake of time. Okay, let me just copy this. Let me just copy this one here. Okay, I think it's similar to this. So let me just copy and paste below here. So what we have to do is we need to change this to get all leaf. We need to change this to get all. Come on, get all leaf. Get all leaf. Okay. So get all leaf. Then we don't need the ID because we want to get all the leaf this time around. So get all leaf. Then we have to delete this from there. We want to get all the leaves that the employee have applied for in our database. So that's all we need to do there. So the next thing we have to do now is that we want to get, all employee now. We want to get all the details for all employee because it's one of the things we did in our last video. We are trying to add employee details. We are trying to get all the employee details saved inside our database. So for us to be able to do that, it's just very simple as well. Let me just copy this. It's similar to this. So and let me come down here and paste. So So let me break this down so that you'll be able to see very well. So we have to change this to get all employee now. That is what we want to do. We want to get all employee details. So we have callback. So we just have to change this table here to employee. All right, so employee, because that's the table where we want to get the details from. All right, so that's all we need to do to get all our employee details. So we want to add all the employee data now. All right, so we just have to let me see. Let me come here. We need to just copy this because it's a little bit similar to this as well. So let me copy this and come down here to paste. So number one thing we have to do, we have to change this guy here. So we have to change it to add employee. So as you can see, Sublime is already suggested that for me. Add employee. Then we need to save name. We don't need ID. We need to save name, email. We need to have email. So here we need to have contacts here as well. So we need to have contacts, and here we need to have join dates. That is when the employee joined the organization or the hospital. So we have the join date. We have role here as well. Okay, so we have to put role here, and the next thing we have to do is to put salary here. Okay, so that is the salary of the employee, how much the employee is earning. So we have the callback. So let's change this here. We want to insert into employee, not leave. So we have to change that. So we have to insert into employee now this time around. So we need to pass name. So we need to pass name here. Let me copy this. We need to pass email here as well. So we need to pass contacts. Come on. We need to pass contacts. Okay, let me just do something. Instead of me just going through all this stress. Okay. So let me just copy this contacts here. What's happening? Okay. Just type. It is not copying. So contacts. So we have to pass the join date here. I'm just trying to speed it up so that the video will not be too long. So join dates. So we have to get the role. That is the employee, a nurse, is a cleaner, is it any kind of role. So let's come down here and change this to salary. So to salary. Then what's the last thing we have to do? I think that is the end, or that's the last thing we have to do, the salary. So we have to come down here and change this the values here. So here we are changing this to email. I'm changing this to email. So here we are changing this to contacts. We need to change this to contacts. So here we are changing this to join dates. Okay. So we need to change this to join dates. Okay. So here we need to change this. After join dates, what do we have? We need role as well. Okay. So we need the value of the role. Then the last thing is the salary here. That's all we need. Is the salary. So let me see if like any other thing. No, that is all we need to do to add the employee details inside our database. Okay. So then the next thing we have to do is we have to do the search. We want to be able to search for employee details. Are you getting it now? So let's quickly do that. So we just have to come here. I think I've done something like this sometimes ago for search doc. Okay, it's just similar to this. Good. So let me just copy this here from here. So and come down here to paste this. So we have to change this to search employee. So we have to just change it to search employee. Alright, so we need the key here, not ID this time around. Let's pass key here. So select okay, let's put the asterisk symbol here from employee where select from employee. Okay, we want to select from employee where name. Okay, where name this time around. Let's remove the first name. Where name like. Okay, we pass the key. All right, so that's all we need to do there for the search employee. So that's all we need to do. So the next thing we want to do again is that we want to be able to delete the employee. I've done something similar to this as well, but let me just type. Okay. So let's just say module.exports. Okay, module.exports.deletes. Deletes. Okay. Thank you, Sublime, for bringing that. It's equals to function now. Is equals to function. Then we have to pass ID. Then let's have callback here as well. So let's have this here. So we're gonna say variable now, query. Okay, variable query. Then variable query. Then we're gonna say query is equals to okay, let's say delete. Let's say delete from employee now. I want to delete from employee where ID is equals to let's come out here and put ID here. So then we have to come down here as usual now. Okay, so we're gonna say that come now dot query. Okay, so we're trying to connect those information to our database. Come dot query. Then we have query. So then we have callback here. Oh, beautiful. So that's all we need to do there. So the next thing we have to do is we want to be able to edit the employee details. So we want to be able to edit the employee details. So for us to be able to do that, I'm looking okay, for us to be able to do that, let's just come up here and see. I've done something similar to this. I just want to copy it for the sake of time. Okay, let me see if something is similar, and if it's not there, then we can just go ahead and do our typing. Okay, let's go ahead and do our typing. Okay, let's just say module now. Okay, module.exports dot edit employee. Okay, it's equals to function. Okay, it's equals to function. Then we have to pass ID, pass name, pass email, then pass contacts. Then we have to pass join date as well. Join date. Then we have to pass role. Okay, we have to pass role. We have to okay, we have to pass role. Then we have to have this callback here. All right, so I think that's all what we need to do. We don't want them to be able to. Okay, the salary shouldn't be included. Yeah, the salary shouldn't be included. So okay, so function. All right, so let's put the square brackets here. Then the next thing we have to do is I'm gonna say variable now, query. Okay, variable query is equals to updates. Yeah, I know I've done something like this. Oh, it's equals to updates. Okay, then we have employee here. Then we have employee. Then we have set name. Okay, we're gonna say set name now. I'm gonna say set name. It's equals to, that is where this name appears. So we want to set it. So we're gonna say set name. Then inside there, let's have this here as well. I'm gonna say then we need this plus name. Then we add this plus here at the back as well. So all I'm just going to do is just let me just copy this here. Okay, let me just copy this and put a comma here. So we have to change this to email. Okay, we need to have email here as well. Okay, we need to have email and say that it's equals to. Okay, so we change this to email. Okay, we change this to email. The next thing we have to do again, let me just copy all of this here down to this place and paste this here. So we have to change this from email to contacts. Okay, we want to change this from email to contacts this time around. Contacts. Okay, so and we have to change this to contact as well. We have to change this to contacts. So let me paste. Then we need to change this from email to join dates. Okay, to join dates. Then we have to change this to join dates as well. Join dates. So okay. So the next thing again we have to do is the last one, which is the role now this time around. So let's change this email to role and change this email here as well to role. Okay. So then we just have to say that where ID, okay, where ID is equals to okay, let's change this to plus ID. Okay, So that's all we need to do there. Then we have to come down here to, okay, let me put this in. Then we have to come down here to say come now dot query, then we're gonna say query, then we have callback here as well. So we have callback here. So that's all we need to do there. So the next thing we have to do now is that we want to be able to get employee by ID, that is each of the employee details. So that's what we want to do next. So let me just let me come up here and copy this so that instead of us retyping all the time. So I'll just paste this down here. So we just have to change this to get employee. Wait, I think sometimes should give me, if I've used this before, get employee by ID. I won't tell you. Okay, yeah, I've used this before. So get employee by ID. Then we have the callback. So there we have to change this to select all select from employee now where ID. Okay, so select from employee where ID. So that's all we need to do there. So the next thing we have to do now is that we want to be able to edit. Okay, let me see. Have we done this? We want to be able to edit leave. Have we done for edit leave? Let me see. Edit leave. Get leave by ID. Add leave. Okay. We've not done this. So let me just come down here and copy this guy here, because what we want to do is a little bit similar to this. So let me just come down here and paste. So we need to change this to edit leave. If I've used this before, okay, good. Edit leave. So we have to change some of these parameters here, because what we want to edit is different. Here we have the ID, we have the name. Let's change this to leave type. Okay, then we need to change this to contact to from. Then we need let me delete this, join this, because we don't need this. So to yeah. Then we have reason as last. So let's say reason. Okay. So then let's come here. So we're gonna update now. We're gonna say update leaves now. Let's change this to update leaves. So set employee now. Set employee. Then we have to change set employee. Then we have name here. This is correct. Then we have to change this leave type here. Okay. Let's say leave type. Come on, leave underscore type. Okay, so that's same thing too. We have to pass here leave type. All right. So the next thing we have to do is we have to change this contact to from. Okay, date from. Rather, let's say date from. Then we have to change this to from. Okay. We have to change this to from. Okay, to from. All right. So the next thing we have to do is the date to now. Okay, the date when the leave is going to end. So let's say date underscore to. Then we have to change this here to 2. So the last thing we have to do now is the reason now. Okay, so let me just come here and change this row to reason. So come down here to change this to reason as well. Okay, so where ID is ID, then that is all we need to do there. All right, so that's all what we need to do. So guys, this is all what we need to do. We've been able to define we've been able to all of those informations we are getting from our from our employee here.js. So all those informations, the name, the data of those employees we are trying to get from here. So this is where we'll be saving those details into our database. So this inside the DB controller here is the one controlling. That's why we call it controller, because he's the one controlling every information we are getting from the clients, from the users. He's the one controlling those informations and save them into our database, interact with the database on behalf, of on behalf of the employee. So he's the one trying to get all those data, all those employee data, the leave they are trying to apply for. So it is this DB controller that is helping us to make them interact with MySQL. So this is all what we need to do to save our employee details into our database, and to be able to edit their details, to be able to search them and all those things. These are what we need to do. So guys, I'm going to stop this video here now. So the next thing we are going to be doing in my video is we want the patient to be able to book for appointments with the doctor. I get it now. So we are going to be creating an API for that. And okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing in my next video. So I think I have maybe 3 to 4 videos left to really to display. About this project. Anyway, I just have 3 to 4 videos left to display to show us about this project. So after that, we are going to move to a project I'm currently working on. That is the hotel management system. So I use React, Nodejs, and MySQL to build it for one hotel here. So I'm going to show us how I come about the idea, and I'm going to start the video. So hopefully maybe in the following 3 to 4 videos, I'll be done with hospital management system. So in the last video, I'm just going to, when it now comes to the last video, that's where I'm going to drop the source code of all what we'll be trying to do on this particular project. So guys, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, guys. My subscriber is over 200 already. I know we still have a long way to go, but I'm so super excited. Definitely, I strongly believe that you guys are learning 1 or 2 things from this channel, and I'm so happy about that. Thank you so much. And if you are watching this video, guys, please kindly hit the subscribe button. It's free. If you have learned 1 or 2 things today, come on, guys, just as a payback to encourage me, just please hit the subscribe button. So thank you so much for taking your time to watch this tutorial. I'm still your host, your friends, your brother Steven. Thank you so much. See you guys in my next video. Thank you.